boosting food production from the eyes of a Lagos State Agripreneurship Programme, LAP. My guest is with me in the studio, but first, let me say, I'm not going to be doing this all alone. I have with me in the studio, Elliot Aminu. We're going to be running the show together this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Elliot.
Good afternoon, Lagos.
Good afternoon. Good to have you in the studio today.
Thank you.
Okay, so he's always behind the scene. You might be wondering, who is this person again? Yes, he's always been around us, but most of the time behind the scene. So it's good to have you behind the microphone this afternoon. All right, our guest on the show this afternoon is the Director, Agricultural Training Institute, ATI, Araga, Ekpe. So for those of you residing around Ekpe, or you have a farm at Ekpe, or you intend to have a farm around Ekpe, this is the time to connect with us on radio. You can send a text to me on WhatsApp. 0809-9120-777 is the number to send your concerns to. Folake Ogunlana is guesting with us on the show this afternoon. A very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, producer.
All right, it's good to have you in the studio.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So, the Lagos State Agripreneurship Programme, LAP, is a social intervention initiative launched by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in 2020. The program is designed to tackle unemployment and food production, food security by training young people in modern agricultural practices. Now, let's talk about some of these concerns that, some of the things that I think Lagosians would like to hear answers to. Lagos is often seen as a concrete jungle and a tech hub. Why has the state government prioritized the Agripreneurship Programme LAP as a key pillar for the youth and not the aged?
Okay, let me start off by saying, well, we're not limiting this to Ekpe. The fact that we are in Ekpe doesn't make us endemic to Ekpe. LAP is everywhere. All right, why not the aged? Exactly why we are introducing this to our youths. The average age of farmers in the state from survey taken is around 60 years old. And then, whether we like it or not, these people will retire one day. And if you look at the basic necessities of life, if you want to prioritize them, I think food is the most important. Food, clothing, housing,
shelter,
health, and all of that. But all of them, I can say you can, manage. But for food security is something we cannot do. I'm sure you would have eaten like 2 times, if not more, today.
I am fasting.
Well, even then, after you will still have to break your
I'll
fast.
probably drink water.
Well, it's still part of. So, you said it. Lagos Agripreneurship Programme is a social intervention introduced by the administration of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and that's implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems, heavily led by our Commissioner, Ms. Abisola Olusoya, and the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Audu Emmanuel. So the youth has to be involved in what we are doing. It's not just about when we talk about agriculture, we're taking it away from the way people see it, and that's why we are looking at this LAP, Lagos Agripreneurship Programme. We're taking it away from the old way of farming. The youth had the way it is. Everything is evolving, innovation, technology, and all of that. So that's why we're bringing all of this into this agriculture space. Nowadays, you have climate smart technologies, precision agriculture, drone technology, and all of this. So this program was actually designed to cater for the youth within the range of 80 to 40. So that when these old farmers, you said, why not for the of course, there are different programs for different demography.
Okay.
But this lab is mainly for the youth. And it is for us to ensure that there's continuity and for us to look at a better way of farming. So that's
this demography that you're talking about now, these are people who likes to fix their nails. These are people who want to reside in Ikeja GRA. They want to reside in Dolphin Estate, Banana Island, and the likes.
Yeah.
So when they reside in these areas, how do you want them to farm?
You can reside anywhere and practice your farming. In fact, people were encouraging urban farming. We're still going to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can stay anywhere and be a farmer. You don't have to look haggard to be a farmer. That's why we're taking it off from that look, from that belief. If you look at the whole thing, like I said, there are different segments to farming. There is the production, there is the processing, there is the marketing, and e-commerce. A whole lot of things are involved in agriculture. It is not limited. You can stay anywhere. You can. There are farmers. In fact, I'll tell you, in advanced countries, the farmers are even part of the people that determines what goes on, even during the election and all of that. So we shouldn't look at our farmers as the poor. You can. Maybe they look sometimes. You will be surprised that most of these farmers are multimillionaires. So that's why the shift, we're taking it away from that belief. So the youth in fact, they need to be involved, and they are involved. That's why the program started in year 2020, and the plan was to have 15,000 agripreneurs. You can see I'm not using farmers. I said agripreneurs. Yeah. So because apart from all of this production, that a lot of people, when you hear farming, that would be the first thing to come to your mind.
No, that's the work of English. There is a vocabulary, or there is a term for everything you can think of now.
Okay. So the thing is, there are a whole lot of things involved in farming, in agribusiness. You have the production, you have the e-commerce, you have the technology aspect, and all of that. So the plan was to have 15,000 agripreneurs by the end of this administration, and so far so good. We have trained over 5,000 agripreneurs, and we have created that direct.
In how many years?
2020 till 20,
in 6 years. Okay, this is 6th year.
Yes, well, of course, this is January.
Yeah.
So let's just say 5. Let's just say 5 years. So from that from like I said, that one is the direct beneficiaries. But all of these beneficiaries have been able to employ minimum of 2 people. So we have created 5,000 agripreneurs and created over 15,000 indirect jobs through this Lagos Agripreneurship Programme.
So Taiwo, it surprised you that Taiwo too is a farmer. And
I can see her nails are fixed.
And nails are fixed.
I don't think.
Now,
I'm a farmer.
Yeah, she's the farmer. So on that, is there any particular story or example of a lab graduate who is currently practicing? And
several of them. You can't train 5,000 people and not have success stories. Quite a number of them. Okay, let me give an example of a young lady. Her business name is Fisherwoman.
Oh, okay.
Her farm is in Ikorodu. She was a trainee.
I have hosted her on one of her shows.
And I'm sure the look, she doesn't look that. Then there's so many other ones. There is TM. In fact, the last most beautiful farmer, there was this contest for most beautiful farmer.
Wow.
It wasn't about look. It was about productivity. It was about whole lot of things. Yes, she was crowned at the World Food Day last year, October 16th. She is a lab graduate. She went through lab. Then there's this young man. When we talk about agriculture, there's the
value chain.
Yes, apart from the value chain, there's so many ancillary parts of it that it's just for you to identify the gap. For everything, that's the only way you can make an impact. You look through the whole thing and identify a gap. There's this young man, Garuba Olumide, is running a program. Well, I know he has a show too. I don't know which it's called Voice of the Farmers. He was a lab trainee. Yeah, he's a lab graduate. So he has identified that space, that the way the general media would report agric might not be as specific as he, being a practitioner, will report it, and we need to be heard. Like the Honorable Commissioner said when she came to, because we are currently running a program in Ekpe now, she said entertainment has taken us to the, has made Lagos being seen on the globe. We are making so much waves, Lagos, Nigeria, and all of that. The young farmers too, we need to do that. And that's what we are pushing. So the Lagos Agripreneurship Programme is not just about bringing people in to just do the normal. We are doing, something much more than that. And well, let me say, if you would, okay, we'll still get there.
All right, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. The program is Lagos Farmer. You're wondering who has been taking us to the classroom this afternoon. I have with me with us in the studio, the Director of Agricultural Training Institute, ATI, Araga, Folake Ogunlana is our guest. Quickly, before we continue with the program, let's tell you that our motorbike live reporter, Raphael Jaramil, called in earlier to say that the falling truck and, some of the vehicles earlier impeding the flow of traffic are off the road. But for the truck, transloading is currently ongoing. That might still slow you down, right? But effort is seriously on to get it off the road. So please be patient. It's really busy in most part of the metropolis connecting Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Of course, any problem with Lagos-Ibadan Expressway certainly affects the most part. So please just be patient if you are, caught up in that gridlock. All right, let me return to you, Folake. Okay. One thing I have noticed, we've been running this program for, a couple of weeks now. The agripreneur value chain is quite long. Tell me the area that you think youths are embracing the most, and the area you think that you would need them to also focus on. We are in a tech era. And I know that a lot of people would rather focus on the middleman part. Certainly, I cannot be too sure, right? You are in the business. Tell me the areas they're focusing on the most and the area you would like them to also shift their attention to.
Okay, thank you for the question. I'll say it's about interest. When we train an average of 200 per cohort, and you get to see people in different having interest in different field, different value chains, like what we do in Ekpe, because LAP is currently being implemented in 2 centers currently. Okay. We are running the LAP in Ekpe and then in Agege Center, that's at Farm Service and Entrepreneurial Center. So when they come, they are coming from different backgrounds, and everybody has what the expectation. Okay. But what I usually tell them is, when you get to the gate of the institute, put down your expectation, open your mind, learn, get some knowledge, get what we do is we don't just teach, we transfer knowledge. We make them skillful. We provide skill education and make impact. So some of them, as they are leaving, they will tell me, when I came, it was actually fish farming that I was interested in. But now that I'm leaving, I think I've changed my mind. I want to go into piggery. For Ekpe, what we do is we do 4 value chains: poultry, aquaculture, piggery, and vegetable value chain. So a whole lot of them, this thing is, you'll be surprised that you believe that they would want to do the middle part, but most of them are actually interested in the upstream, because that's where you have the advantage. Of course, every segment has its or her own advantage, and that's why they network. And that's another thing that they gain from that place. When you go just learn on your own, or you don't have that luxury of having people in network, and your network is your net worth. So, of course, a lot of them, the only thing that I feel might limit some people, as it is in Lagos, might be maybe land or that. But for them, I don't think they are all over. And we encourage them to identify gaps, like I said. So we don't want to push anybody into a space that he or she is not comfortable in. So you can either choose to be in production, processing, marketing, and other, there are so many other ancillary things in between. Logistics, they are all just there for them to embrace. Just do something that you'll be comfortable doing. Excelling at.
All right, talk to me about what you have in stock for Lagosians this year.
Okay. So currently we're running Lagos Agripreneurship Programme, and I'll tell them how to benefit. I guess that's like I said, we have two centers. There is Araga Center, and there's Agege Center. The Agege Center is non-residential. You go in there, we listen to feedback, because we started from Ekpe, but a lot of people were some of them are already into this farming, but they lack knowledge, so they just want a crash program. So that one, about 10 days program was planned for those. So they go to the Farm Service and Entrepreneur Center, spend 2 weeks. They acquire all this, and they focus more on urban farming. So they go there and they get trained and leave. But for the Ekpe training, you have a residential 4 weeks program. They are on campus, accommodation, feeding, the kids and everything. Of course, for Agege too, they get fed and they have kids. But here, everything is provided and it is free of charge. So it is a 3 phases program. You have the training program. That's when they are housed, they are fed, they are there. We are all there for 4 weeks, learning hands-on and then theory. Theory is about 30%, and the hands-on is about 70%. You need to go to our social media pages to get to see, to have a feel of us. Then after the training, the 4 weeks training, after the training, they still get transport stipend of 15,000. Agege is 10, Ekpe is 15,000. Then they go for Ekpe, they go on 3 months internship, mentorship phase. So they are attached to reputable farms close to their house, so where they have mentors. So we use some of these, our lab graduates, as mentors, and so many other farms, reputable farms. They go there to learn. So that's where your area of interest will now come in, because you know what exactly you want to, you feel like trying your hands on. Although we encourage them having, but they have to be focused. For every business you do, you have to know where you have a area of competence. Yes. So they go for 3 months mentorship, internship platform. So after that, we have another institute involved in this lab. That is our center at Badagry, Food Production and Entrepreneurial Center. So they go there for enterprise activation, and that is the new strategy that was just introduced at the last quarter of last year. In the past, it ends at the internship stage, but because we have looked at the whole thing, the internship stage will not provide the basic seed capital for them. So what we're doing now is we're taking all of them. In the past, it used to be we just take the top performers, 20% of the number trained. The top performers, of course, they write exam, and then we get the top performers to go for enterprise activation. But we realize that there are lots of people that are good with their hands, and they are not really, because we don't really limit the entrance level. We have school cert holders, we have graduates, you have all sorts of educational qualifications. So some might be smarter than the others. So we have decided to give everybody equal chance. So all of them will get enterprise activation at our food production and entrepreneurial center in Badagry. So we take them. So the first set was the Lab 25. We are currently running Lab 26 in Epe, and Agege is running the third batch. So they are on their internship level now. So after the internship, they will go for 3 months enterprise activation at Badagry. So whatever they produce at that center will be their seed capital to start their business.
Amazing.
Yeah, interesting. Because I was about to ask if there is any kind of support for those graduates after the program, and now she has filled that gap in. Thank you. Well done.
All right, then. So for this current cohort, there is one that is currently ongoing. When did this start?
It started on the January. When we resumed Sunday, so January 11th.
How long is
4
this?
weeks.
4 weeks.
So we're closing on February the 6th.
So when is the next cohort?
Oh, well, we are always open. Our website is always open. As soon as we're done with this, we are already selecting. So for those that are interested, they should go to our website, www.lapapplications.com. So when they get there, they will read the requirements, see which one of these 2 centers they are willing to register for. Then we are always going to the site to select. We're selecting, or we are already collating list for the next batch. So as soon as we're done with this, we start.
Yes. So you have mentioned that for some of the beneficiaries, they eventually make seed capital from whatever from whatever produce they make. And my next question will be that, how about those who do not need the seed capital but need a land or equipment? How do you help them?
Okay. For land, there's an agency that is saddled with that function. That is Agricultural Land Holding Authority. They are there. Everybody can always apply. And then for equipment and all of that, of course, from their seed capital, they can always do that. And then we always find okay, I'll give an example. There was a time that a program came on, Appeals Project, a World Bank assisted project. Some of our LAP graduates were taken to that project to support them. Of course, if there is always a budget for everything.
Sure.
Of course, for what we are doing presently, that is what we have. But then that is not limiting them. We during the training, we always bring in Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. They are always we are partners. They come to tell them how they can access fund and all of that. And we are working with so many other agencies that we're still looking for people to collaborate with. If you're willing to take students on internship mentorship,
from the private sector.
Yes, from the private sector, you are free. You can contact us. Then if you want to, there's so many things that NGOs and so many private sectors are doing to assist. Like we always say, government cannot do everything. We want to give kudos to our governor because he's been ever so faithful with us. He's always been supportive. He has always made the fund available for us to run the program.
All right. In just a minute, if a young person is listening right now and would like to, change his or her career path to agriculture, what's the first step he or she should be considering?
Passion. The passion that whoever is listening and wants to take should be passionate about, because it is only passion that can drive this.
If for me to even think how to change from a broadcaster to a farmer, I mean, that's passion on its own.
So after passion, every other thing comes. So if you are interested in joining us, of course, I've mentioned our website earlier. Just go on www.lapapplication.com. You get to read about us. Then you can start your application. Once that is done and you fit into the required the criteria. Of course, you get selected. Then there's an aptitude test that you take, because you have to be mentally fit and physically fit. You have to have your last row number.
Okay.
And all of that. Yes. They are all stated on. Like I said, for Agege, 18 to 40, Ekpe, 18 to 30. So look at all of those. Pick your desired center. Then we take it on from there.
All right, I'm afraid we'll run out of time already. Thank you so much, Folake Ogunlana, the Director, Agricultural Training Institute, ATI Araga Ekpe. I have done this with Elliot Amino. I should say a very big thank you to you for coming on the program. All right, this is where we wrap things up on today's edition of Lagos Farmer. Maximum thanks to everyone who tuned in, and certainly the program makes a return next week. It has been brought to you courtesy the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, LSADA. My name is Taiwo Baroa. Certainly the program makes a return next week, Friday at 4:30. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, Lagos.